I'm humbled to be invited to come and speak here. I know there are many people you could have invited, but you invited me. I really am honored. I'm nothing. I'm nobody. I'm just a nobody in this South African bigger scheme of things. My name is not known. I wish it was, but it's not. So what I say are my views. We need these platforms because if we allow only one voice to speak in a society, we might drift away without knowing. I appreciate diversity of voices. Anyway, let's differ. This is what makes diversity beautiful. We are not the same facially, we are not the same bodically, we are not the same voicically. So let's allow people to say things we do not agree with, and let's use platforms to disagree with them. Don't hate me just because you don't agree with me. I think that's the bottom line. My subject is, I plan to take 18 minutes. My subject is the paradox of an artist in comfort. The paradox of a comfortable artist. The paradox of an artist who is in comfort. Yeah, the paradox refers to a statement that seems contradictory because it contains two ideas which cannot coexist. For example, this mic says this mic is telling the truth, and this mic says this mic is lying. That's a paradox. This mic says telling the truth, this one says lying. If I say to you everything I say is a lie, am I telling you the truth or am I lying? I'm lying. But if I'm lying, then it means I'm telling the truth. Because I said everything I say is a lie, and I'm lying, therefore I'm telling the truth. Do you understand what paradox is? Paradox is finding yourself in a position where you cannot exist twice. You cannot be an elite and what's the other group? People on the ground. You cannot be elite and working class at the same time. That's a paradox. So I want to talk about the paradox of an artist who is in comfort. Of course, I'm relating to the gentleman we are honoring today. I think some of the things I'm going to say are things that his life mirrored. Here are some of the things I've seen that people said about Thami Moleko. One person once said, the life history of Thami was anchored on sacrifice and determination. I think it was in the lecture last year. Kingdom Mnyakeni said that. Thami was a man of his word, a man of integrity, an honest literary and arts giant. That was said by somebody who was reviewing that event. I don't know his surname, but where I was reading this. I think I know who's that bully, but I'm not sure. That's why I'm not committing myself. And somebody said he knew that to fulfill the aspirations of the majority of our artists, he had to sacrifice his artistic career. That's important for me. He was not afraid to sacrifice his own career so that he can push the industry or other artists. I'm going to say this later, when we have got people whose primary purpose is pushing their own agenda, when they need you because they want to use you. If you've got no use to them, they forget about you. If your presence is going to help their career, they draw you closer. But if there's an opportunity for you, not for them, they forget about you. So I think Thami was that type of a person. In all my interactions with him, there are two instances that stand out. One was when we were driving to Johannesburg. He was attending a certain, I think it was KUSA, I'm not sure. He was attending a certain conference, and so I drove with him there. with peace. With the guy, peace. Yes, peace chapter. I'm just saying. The second time that stands out was when he was MC in an event that we did at Pekop's, which was dubbed the Free State of Verse. It was myself, Napo Mashiane, Bufelo Wamputla. We had a couple of other guys from around here. Icebound was there, Jar Rose was there, Thami was the MC there. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm telling you these things in a minute. What I learned in those two interactions are the following things. One, I learned that he was not obsessed with comfort. Comfort is good, but you must not be obsessed with it. Sometimes you invite somebody to an event and you let them know, one, what is the budget you have? That's what you have. Two, you say, we can't afford a hotel or a what. But here's a room, it is clean, it is nice, you will sleep there. Some of us have adopted the Beyonce tendencies so early in our lives. Omunye umuntu uyaqala nokuqala ukuthola igig, like it's your first gig. And they say, what is it that you would like to have? And they start counting. Please give me 15,000 and hire a car for me. I want a room with balloons. I want 15 iced teas, mixing peach and lemon, calling for impossible things. We should not start there. So he was not obsessed with comfort. The example I told you about, where he was willing not to do what he wanted to do, because comfort was not an obsession. What was an obsession was where he was going. Some of us were obsessed with the road, with the road, and we forget that there's a destination. He was passionate about development of arts in the Free State. That one, I think, is the second thing I learned about him. When he spoke, that's what he spoke about. These days, I know we speak about getting gigs for ourselves. He spoke about improving the labor of the artists in the Free State. He did not mind cheering others on. Do you understand what that is? Something which most of us we struggle with. When somebody releases a CD, well, I always tell this story. I come to you, I say to you, I've released the CD. Instead of you talking about my CD, which is the topic right now, what do? Yeah, I'm not going CD for it. Why compare when the topic was my CD? And somebody says to you, instead of saying, how? What is the name of the book? Where can I get the book? You're like, you find somehow you must also be there. You know those guys who were dating, took a girl and a boy. This boy was speaking about himself. Hey, moto, hey, we're Joburg, and we're Islander, honey. And then he said, hey, we've been talking about me for too long. Let's talk about you now. What do you think about me? Thami was not obsessed with being the center. He was willing to allow others to take the center stage. There's a disease among artists. I forgot to say this. I speak as somebody who's been in exile for many years. I don't know what's happening in the things I'm going to say are things that were happening when I was still involved, like 5 years ago. I don't know what's happening now, right? Artists, when somebody gets on stage, they don't cheer him on. They wait to see ukuthi siyamhlula noma uyasihlula. That's a disease. Well, we don't have time. Whether he was on stage or not, he was the same person with no ambitions of being famous. That's another disease. We don't engage in arts because we love art. We engage in art because we want to be famous. Somehow, we already see ourselves on the billboards before we have practiced enough. We do not have love for this practice. called music or poetry. No. We've got love for the adulation we get when people invite us and give us good names. That's why many people quickly give up, because fame doesn't come overnight, especially when you are from the Free State. It doesn't come overnight. Some of you have been hustling for 20 years. The passion remains. And there are many come around who just came last week. Just because they recorded a CD in some backroom studios. Now already they are very famous. I think Thami was the same on stage and off stage. And so, okay, let me close by telling you about 4 challenges that I think are facing this region. Remember, I said I don't know what's happening most. This was happening then, when I was still around, when I was still alive. Now, I don't know. But I'm saying, with Thami, we are asking 4 questions. The 4 challenges we must face in this region, that we must confront, are as follows. 1 is perpetual development. 2 is uneven scales. 3 is sanitized voices. 4 is sweetheart artists. Not over sweet. Let me break them down quickly. The challenge of perpetual development means, the question is there visible graduation from development to professional? Yet. Not according to you, but according to those in power. Because last time I checked, they didn't recognize anybody in the Free State as professional. You're always developmental, always. You attend auditions for 7 years. You go to audition, you go perform Koma Kufe, good, it's nice. Next year, you must go to audition again. I don't understand that. I think they saw you last year. They know where to gauge you. Unless they tell you that, Sheba, Ruboni last year, Ushoteka stage presence. I think there are workshops. At auditions, workshops, performance. How can I audition again for the 4th time? It means I'll always be development, always. In fact, the reason, well, we'll talk about scales now. No, let me go to scales. You understand this one? Perpetual development. You're always under development. Some of you do better presentations like some of the so-called professionals. Actually, it looks like in South Africa, a professional is one who has been on TV. That's how they define professional. Just TV. How to Soweto you walk to Auckland Park? Hey man, the Nali program kaspiti. Ukuboto ken. Wakena. Wachaiva. So professional. That is why, even when they invite people for auditions, they tell you at 10 o'clock at night that tomorrow 8 o'clock, let's meet at Market Theatre. Who are they talking to? They're talking to people in Joburg. Now, you struggle to get those opportunities. So the question that I'm asking with Thami is there visible graduation from development to professional? I want to quote something that Thami said. He said, our artists are being underpaid without considering their state of profiles. They don't look at your profile. They ask you to talk. How can you fall under development? Even before they hear you perform. How can you brilliance? But at least to how feel you back. If I can ask, can you count how many professional artists are there in the Free State, in the true sense of the word, that are recognized as such, that are paid as such? I'm sure you need one hand to count. The other fingers will just help the other one. I'm happy you're saying that, because if we say that, it looks like we're undermining. No. We know you are professional. But are you regarded as professional? No. Why? Because you are from the Free State. Yo. I'm happy there's no media here, otherwise I'm going back to exile. No, I mean bad media. I mean, we've got good media, Here are questions we must think about. The percentage of Free State focus on national TV is a disgrace. Amen. On national TV, Free State, it's like it doesn't exist. It's highlighted. Everything. I mean, even the news. It's important in Soweto. Just because it happened in Soweto, it's front page news. How many things are happening in the Free State that are not there? That is why I think, I don't know why this Free State TV is not getting off the ground. I'm sure there are many groups who are trying it. I know too. But why are they not getting off the ground? Why don't the government just say, look, you can 10 million, start this thing? Because it is not for them, it's for this province. I don't know why it's not getting off the ground. I can see. Soweto has got a channel, Soweto TV. Pretoria's got a channel, Tshwane TV. Those are towns, they're not even provinces. Those are towns. Port Elizabeth has got Bay TV. Cape Town has got Cape Town TV. Durban, it ain't Durban. Everywhere, Bethlehem. Did you say Bethlehem? Oh, yeah, KZ. Yeah. I remember it because of that program. And why are Free State musicians struggling to be played on national radio, including the CDFM? It's not quality. It's not because of the quality of their work. I've heard horrible things on radio. Things that will never make it on Coca-Cola Pop Stars. But they're being punted regularly. I will not say I suspect what. No. I'm not suspecting that. No, not at all. No, I didn't say that. I'm not saying people are paying to be played on TV. I'm not saying that. But the fact that I'm not saying it doesn't mean it's not there. I'm just not saying it. Why is it difficult to be on national TV? Why? I'm asking. Because there's one individual or two individuals who listen to music and decide this is good or this is not good. Why is Beyonce every day on every show? Every day on every show. But you can't play. If there was an investigation of the quorum between artists being played from these companies or these places, you'll be shocked. There are places which have got no one playing on TV when they've got recorded people. Free State isn't shy to spend. I know that. We all know that. And I love it for that. I love a government that's not shy to keep money, to keep money. Not shy. I love a government that's willing to release money because money should be released. You can't want to have million in the bank and still go hungry for lunch. But here's my proposal to the Free State government. Why can't you help the Free State artists like the KwaZulu-Natal artists were helped by the KwaZulu-Natal government? Why? Firstly, put money on Free State TV without fear. I mean, when the website issue came out, I thought people will fly. No. The answer was nice. That's what we paid for the website. What do you want us to say? 13. So once they ask you, why are you putting so much money on the arts? Same answer. Because we want to promote the arts. They might write columns about you, after 1 year, 2 years, Free State sound will be there. People will know this. It's a Free State. I'll come to darling artists right now because another problem is the darling artists. But let me go to the second one. It looks like I might not get to where I wanted to go. Let me go to the second one. The second one, the challenge of uneven scales. When there's a festival, there are different payment regimes. Some get paid 3,000 rand, some 10,000 rand, some 45,000 rand, some 250,000 rand, and some 1.5 million for standing up on stage and singing. And if you ask, why is it such difference there? I don't really get answers. Well, it goes back to that perpetual development thing. I know some people are happy to get 1,000 rand to perform. Do you want it? 1,000? Hey, what are you for down? What are you for down? It's fine. I don't mind 1,000, but you can't be giving me 1,000 for 10 years. And here's the most funny part. Those who get paid 3,000 rand will be paid a year later. Those who get paid 10,000 rand will be paid 2 weeks later. Those who get paid 45,000 rand will be paid 24 hours before the show. Those who get paid 250,000 rand will be paid a week before the show. And those getting 1.5 million get paid before you advertise. Uneven scales. Well, how do you want I'm talking about things that used to happen then. So me and Thami are asking, is it still the same now? With a question mark. I want to show you this. I did this. It was supposed to be on the screen, but it's fine. Something is missing here, and I don't know what. What's missing? Free State artists. I was going to show a couple of people who are on the news, who are nice, singing, who are winning awards. I see. Well, I won't talk about awards, not now. But why are there no Free State artists in the national grid? I won't talk about Northwest artists, but I will. Kichulo Karameki, foreign national Free State. So this is now my country. Challenge number 3, sanitized voices. Why is it sanitize again? Sanitize again to neutralize who you really are. So voices of artists are sanitized. One, because they are afraid to speak the truth. Because those in power, once they recognize you to talk too much, they lock doors for you. It used to be like that. I don't know anymore. The question that I'm asking is, have artists regained their sight and their hearing? Because artists like Hababun, that's why they only sing about roses. They do not sing about the violence happening in our towns. They sing about only. I'm not saying you should not sing about that. I'm just saying that's all you sing about. All your poetry is about that. It's about roses, rising in the red rain, roaming around Rome, reasoning with reason. It's nice vibes, nice rhymes. But can you talk to reality? Are you able to? There's a guy called Mputlani Wabufelo. He has a poem which I love. It's called When the Roll Call of Griots and Patriots is Made, Call Not My Name. He says, enroll me not in the register of people's poets and esteemed writers. I am too shallow for the discerning ears of the chief priest of high art. I cannot afford to be deep when it means taking a flight from concrete, tangible, and harsh realities. He says, Lealikari, I'm not deep, it's fine, as long as I'm talking about harsh realities of our people. But somehow, if you're not deep, poets think you're not a poet. You see, do you know what you must do to be deep? You must say something that doesn't make sense. Then you are deep. Let me be deep. Loitering, losing, lying, living, lifeless, sound, sweet. Immediately, but once I understand you are deep, I cannot afford to be deep. to double in spoken word enterprise of flowing for the sake of flowing. In the name of being decorated, the beatboxer par excellence, uttering ambivalent statements, ambiguous metaphors, content-shy and sugar-coated lyrics, lulling the people's eyes away from social maladies to obscurantist escape to Hollywood, Bollywood, Josiewood, Lommywood, fantasy. Challenge number 4 is the last one. The challenge of sweetheart artists. Here's the question. Do we still have artists who are tools to silence the emerging voices? Do we still have artists who are so close to power that they have to defend it with their lives? I'm quoting, I don't know who I'm quoting here, but I saw it in one of the documents I read. It says, talking about Thami Moleko, you will hear stories of how he survived countless attempts to sabotage him from his comrades and artists themselves, bought by government officials to deal with him as he was very vocal on cultural issues. The question is, do we still have that happening? Because he knew the only potential way to liberate the arts industry was through a fearless organization which was not managed by government officials and begging funding. We've got 2 tragedies in the arts. Tragedy number 1, officials who are more interested in taking rather than giving out opportunities. When artist practitioners compete with people who are supposed to be distributing the funds, we've got a problem. If I sit in a big, I don't know, please, I want to repeat that. I don't know what's happening. Chef, I sit in a committee that decides who gets funding. But I've got 2 projects that are also applying for the funding. Well, yeah. Now I'm asking, now. Because you'll have a project, ya Mang. It's nice. Ubata 300,000. Instead of remove, you'll be thinking about Bararka move. So you want to find a way of funding your own organization. That's a tragedy. Secondly, we've got hungry stomach tendencies. Artists who don't value themselves enough to charge what they are worth. They'll take anything, overtake anyone, sabotage anyone. At least it always him land. They actively seek to replace people. I see politics. Oh yeah, because it's not me. I'm not a politician. One day, I was invited to present one of my little things I do. It was called Dear Oliver in Bethlehem during the Freedom Day. It was Freedom Day celebrations. I was called by a certain lady. I'm sorry if Umona, I don't remember. I forgot my past. So this lady calls me. Arikon, Mr. Mnyakeni, Rieta Freedom Day, what, Dear Oliver, blah, blah. Okay. Rieta full play, Kapariete music only. Kapariete music and poetry. I don't know, Hariete music and poetry, Arkibukai, Kamjuit. I don't know, it's fine, let's do it. Kiri Ausi, did you contact your leaders? No, but I feel an so I make the decisions. I can now move for quotation, you know how we do it. And we must improve our paperwork as artists. That's a topic for another day. How can I move for? Guys, Ria Bethlehem. 3 days before the event, but invoice here so that we say all details. How? Man, ish. Man, Kim Libet, Kim Mitola, to. We say, Huta, Mona, I have a program. That's the first thing he asked to see. Abari korona, nsang ntwe. Just like that, nsang ntwe. It doesn't matter whether Ntwe is nice or not. Doesn't matter if Ntwe is addressing the questions of the day or not. No, just because he is Mutu who talks too much. It was removed. Art is supposed to be appreciated. We don't do that anymore. Let me know. How have been able to appreciate? How people must listen and say, wow. Not here in South Africa. South Africa, woo wee! You don't even know what they're going to say. We must open space for all type of music. That's why the poets, they're trying now to live up. They no longer seek to be appreciated. They want applause. And we don't rhyme for applause. We don't sing for applause. We sing to pass a message and to appreciate our art. Now, the question I want to ask before I sit down here, does the artist in comfort exist? Does the artist who is in comfort exist? Nagere, as long as social ills exist, the job of the artist is not done. The artist cannot celebrate and say, "Woo, he told freedom." No, artists don't get freedom because their job is to speak truth to power and to mirror what's happening in society. When xenophobia, well, that's what they call it. But when xenocrimia rises, when xenocrimia rises, it's poets, singers who must rise first to go beyond the hashtag. My problem with hashtag, Leona say the fashion. Hashtag say no to xenophobia. But they are doing it. Finally, critical questions for this industry in this region. 1, are you drawing closer or drifting apart? Because the survival of this industry depends on you drawing closer, not drifting apart. Hiding information. But if you hide information, you know there's a funding in process. They are calling out, but some people have not seen it. But you will not tell them. So it holds. Guys, get what's funding? Government in funding. As if government will phone it. The Kupa will find that. No. It was on a website, the Department of Arts, Mzansi Golden Economy. They are trying to make arts sustainable so that in your art organization, you hire people with funding coming from them. And it's open. But I got funded. That's how I know. If they didn't find me, next Saturday, anyway. Sometimes you see these opportunities and some people don't get jobs because they don't apply. Every time they see a job, but my point is, let us open up our secrets. If I know something, does it mean excited? Street. What do you gain by hiding information from other people? Question number 1, are we going closer or drifting apart? Question number 2, do you prefer to butter your bread or better the sector? What's more important for you, to butter your bread or to better the sector? Because buttering your bread is a temporary job. You will get this job this year, you will get it next year, you will get it next year. But year number 4, somebody new will come, or a new MEC will be selected. But because you got these jobs because of your proximity to the managers, there's no chance, there's no hope that you will get the others. That's why some artists have Mavela. It means Wahlaha Nyamets. I saw a launch DVD. Cool. Or Joburg Theatre. Who cares? Because Because the people who were close to him when he did that are no longer there. What am I saying? I'm saying to us, when you think two things. Think, I want to better the sector. Does my action promote the sector or does it kill it? That's why some of us, Kiabina, get example, Kiabina, get a poetry. Those are the two things I do. But Babata, group it in some. Unana kitota uluna kirikoluna guys kimanga dancing no kitokala dance group. That's why quality goes down every time, not because these guys are bad, it's because they are not focusing on their strength. 3 D4, are you competing or are you complementing each other? Are you wishing Kurikaya ikarekisa a whole na who fit every other artist in Joburg? Is that your wish? Kapa, your wish is hey, skibatla record ka speed kito ifula kai. Let's not compete. Let's complement each other. If somebody is good, they are good. Acknowledge it. They are not good against you. They are just good there. Watch them, clap hands, celebrate them, buy their CD, or attend their shows, whatever you do. But don't feel like success yamutomung is your failure. If you see somebody on TV, because it's not easy to get a TV. If you see one Free State artist at TV at an interview, celebrate them. Let me celebrate him. Tell everybody who's on TV. And okay, the last one. Get better. Are we getting better or are we staying bitter? You'll get better or stay bitter. Some people are bitter when they see other people's success. No, better your art. If you are a poet, write new poems. If you are a singer, write new music. If you are a gospel singer, give us something different for a change. Maybe one of the reasons they don't take you seriously, how kalau bina fel, baka gesa kuruto bina pineri. Sidi how ya gospel kinali mudi sauti, akso iboni, marikatsi bakurite. Why can't you come up and become a different artist here, gospel music? Why do we watch Beyonce? Why do we watch her if we learn nothing from her? Some people boast that. Can I show how fair it's a Beyonce it's arcade? What's that what I want to show you how Coronali shows a Beyonce. Do you know why Beyonce but Duraje happy? That's the last thing I'm gonna say. Those artists charge millions. But when you see they are set on stage, you understand why they charge millions. Yes, you do. Because they smoke, there's acting. The show is not the CD. The problem in South Africa, go to show ki CD. If you can only CD, show you how to go. How can a Chapelinto a CD? All of you in the balcony, and I know balcony more, like straight. Just because in the CD, there are people in the balcony, you repeat it in your show. Let's get better. As much as we fight for recognition, let's get better. So that one day, how come Free State really for 3 hours on TV? Do we have acts we can bring there without shame? Weska feel like Soweto TV, Mzansi movies. Can we compare? Can we run a show? I talk about music a whole. It apply to you. Utlobulela John Legend. Yeah. Utlobulela John Legend. Utlobula kwe. How fitla ubule? Utloba to God. That's what we need. It's time that we dethrone these main acts. You don't dethrone them by being jealous. You dethrone them by giving an awesome performance. In memory of this giant called Thami Moleko, I want to request that we must resolve to work harder, closer, smarter, to advance the Free State arts agenda for our generation and for for posterity. Long live Moleko. Long live.